friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally answering your questions that you posted over on my community tab and on my Instagram account. We are doing another bake and chat. So today I am going to be making or baking whatever blueberry muffins and answering your questions that you posted. So what I like to do with these videos is really I don't show much of me baking or the recipe, um, or I should say, I will have the recipe linked below and I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. But so I already kind of started. I have all the ingredients out. I think I have everything. I already put the flour in the bowl and I'm just going to go ahead, start making them and answering your questions. So I want to first say welcome if you are new. This is a great way of getting to know a little bit about me. And if you ever have any more questions, you can always put them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. So, okay, let me just start mixing in all these ingredients. You know, I I really don't follow directions very well, so I kind of mix everything together at the same time. It is what it is, okay? But it is pretty simple. I don't think it's anything, complicated. But like I said, I will have that recipe below for you. And let me get it. Now I got it. So let's get to the first question, which is what kind of advice would you give to a mom who just found out their child has autism? My first thing I would say is just take a minute to really take that diagnosis in, because undoubtedly your life is going to change. Your child's life is going to change from here on out. And I think the best thing you can do is kind of just take a step back and slowly learn everything you can about what kind of steps you need to take next, what kinds of therapy, um, you know, what your child needs in order to succeed. It is a really complicated in the beginning. For me, it was very complicated in the beginning. I know that not everyone has the same situation. Every child with autism is different, and your journey may look different than mine. It may be rather easy, or it may be, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this too. It may be something, that you will struggle with like I did. And, it definitely is not an easy first couple of years. But I definitely would say give yourself a little bit of grace as you start this journey, because it is a long journey and kind of like a journey that really doesn't ever end. And it does get better as the years go by. But in the beginning, I think the most important thing is to kind of just love your child. Love on your child, um, I I think that, it's very hard not to get wrapped up in that diagnosis, but your child is still the same boy, little girl that you gave birth to and that you love. But it's really very important to kind of work through your own feelings in order to continue to help your child. I think that for me, I kind of just jumped right into everything. I didn't give myself enough time to really learn about autism in a way as a mom. I went headfirst into learning about it, learning like more about the education than learning about how to be a mom of an autistic child. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. But just know that you are not alone. There are so many autism families out there, and we all really talk a lot about our journeys. And you can certainly learn so much from from all of us. But I hope that your journey is a smooth one. And if you have any questions, you can always send me an email, a DM, leave a message below, and I'll try to help you even more. Okay. Next question is, how are you? I'm okay. I'm okay. I can't say I was okay for the last couple of weeks. Michael, my son with autism, was having a really hard time, and this is probably the longest that it took to get over this kind of little bump in the road that we experience time from time. So he's doing better, and when he's doing better, then I'm doing better. So I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Okay, next question is, what do you like to do on weekends? Oh God, run away. I I don't I don't have, as a family, we are doing everything on a weekend, whether it's sports or family gathering parties, shopping, food shopping, or out shopping for something that the boys need or that I need or my husband. And when the weather is like right now, and spring is starting, but we're still not quite there yet. So it's not like we could be outdoors in the yard or relaxing. So the weekends right now has been a lot of hunkering down in our living room, playing games, and with the kids, just trying to keep them busy, get through this winter. Spring is, like I said, pretty much here, I hope. And they can get outside more, and that's really what they enjoy doing. And then for me, I really enjoy being able to read outside. If I can get a couple nice warm days where I can sit in my yard and read, that really is a favorite thing for me to do. I also like to go to the movies, and I don't get to go that much. I try to go with Alex every few months, and me and my husband, it's even harder to do that. But I do like to go to the movies. I love comedy shows. I think I've said that before, and just really enjoying my time with my family. So it definitely, those are some things that I like to do. Once the weather gets better, it's much better here. Okay, so before I go to the next question, I did go ahead and I mixed everything. I'm going to add in, I know you probably can't see, I don't think I have the um, camera facing down since I'm answering the questions, but I'm just going to go ahead and stir in these blueberries, and then we will get them in the muffin tin. Now, you know what? They said how many muffins? A half a cup of muffins. Doesn't look like much. I don't know. I might add a little bit more. But okay, next question. Are you going to Disney this year? And if you are, where will you stay? I know you liked Port Orleans. Do you think you'll be going back for the beignets? Beignets. First learn how to pronounce the word. um, I don't know what we're doing about Disney this year. I don't know. I don't really have any plans except that I know we're going to Florida. I think the date is earlier than it was last year. We're leaving, I believe it's July 11th. I think, yeah, July 11th. And we'll be there for 2 weeks. And I think we'll be back here on the 27th of July. And we made it earlier this year because my husband and my son take karate, and they go to a karate camp in August. So it worked out really well last year. So we decided to do it again earlier. I don't know what the plans are for Florida this year. If we do, by any chance, go back, I have no idea where we'll stay. It depends on what their what the offers are this year for staying at Disney. I wouldn't mind going back to Port Orleans. Of course, I would love to have the beignets that I missed out on last year. But I think I would also like to try another resort, and I have been leaning towards. I've been doing a lot of research for a trip that's not planned for the Swan or the Dolphin over near the boardwalk. I'd like to show that area to my boys and my husband. I would also consider the Caribbean beach resort. I stayed there the very first year it opened, so that's how old I am. But yeah, so I don't know yet. I will definitely keep you posted if anything happens on that front, but I kind of don't think it will this year. So, next question is, do you miss making Disney recipes? Yeah, I do. I do miss it. I enjoy I that is really what started this whole YouTube journey, and I will always I will always love making uh, food and snacks from Disney. That I don't know about returning to that here on this channel, but I do miss them, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna just pause this for a minute so I can get the muffins in and get these in the oven, and then we'll do the rest of the questions. Okay, so I did add a few more blueberries to the muffins. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put these in the oven, and then we will continue on. So I think, how long does this have to stay in? 20 minutes. Okay, let's put a timer on. And I'm making my lunch in the background as well. But I wanted to finish up these questions for you guys. So let's move on. So, okay, so the next question is, what does your husband think of your YouTube channel? And will he ever be on a video with you? I don't know about that. I mean, you see him here and there in some of the Disney vlogs, but uh, on a day in a life type of vlog, I don't think so. He really doesn't do social media, so I don't know if he would ever join me. I don't know. I would have to ask him about that. Honestly, I never really, I just know that he's kind of more private. Doesn't like his, um, you know, I don't know. That's a tough one because I just don't think that that's something that he would be comfortable in doing. I don't know. We'll see. But okay. I'll ask him. I will ask him. All right. So, next question is, you mentioned moving to Florida. Are you moving close to Disney? At this time, we don't really have any plans to move near Disney. We are moving, and it's not now. It's 3 years, and my husband's retiring from his job here, but we're not completely retiring. So we are looking for some place with great schools, and I don't know exactly where we'll be. We're kind of looking around the Tampa area, so it may be near the more near the West Coast, but I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be, the past few years we've been exploring different areas while vacationing in Florida, so we may be doing that this year, but I don't think it would be too close to Disney. And not that it's that we don't want to. It's just I can't even know how to explain it. It's just um, boy, I'm screwing this question up. I don't think we'll be moving close to Disney, at least not right now. That's what I'm thinking. Boy, I'm making this interesting, right? Okay. My favorite book read so far this year. Oh my God, let me go look at my list because honestly, once I finish a book, even though if it may be like my favorite, I forget about it. I couldn't even tell you the title, but I did actually every book that I have read this year, except one. I think I'm on 5 or 6 now, except one of them. They were all great. Um, Actually, I really enjoyed Ina Gardner's book. And what was that called? Be ready for something. Be ready for luck or something like that. Her latest book. I really enjoyed that one. So I would say that that one so far this year was my favorite. Okay. Okay. Let me just go shut off my lunch and then I'll answer the very last question. Okay. I actually had two more questions left. So the next one is, how did you find out about your cancer? I found out about my lung cancer really by sure luck. Um, I was looking for a new doctor, a new regular doctor. I went in for a first visit. She heard me coughing. It was a persistent cough that I had for many, 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 many years, and was told that my cough was an cough asthma, and was treated for typical asthma symptoms. The cough rarely went away. When it did, it usually required me taking prednisone steroids for a few days or a week. But what happened was she didn't like the way it sounded. She asked me how long I had it, and she sent me for a CAT scan. And the CAT scan revealed a couple of nodules on both my right and my left lung. And so, because of that, we repeated those scans. I believe at first it was like every three. I think she started at 6 months, and then since they increased in size, we went again in another 3 months, and they increased in size. Once that was discovered, she sent me to a pulmonary doctor. From the pulmonary doctor, he told me you need to, go see a thoracic surgeon and find out about having them, whether or not they needed to be removed, biopsied, and really that's what started it. So if I did not find a new doctor and she wasn't extremely thorough, I would not have known, and I would have been dead in a year. That's pretty much what the oncologist had told me. So I had two lung surgeries. I had one in April where they did a lobectomy, and then where they take a portion of your lung. I went back in, I did that first one, I believe, in April. And the second one was in July on the other lung. And that was just a wedge where they just are able to take the nodule right without removing any of the lung. So I have been getting clear scans since then. I probably have a scan coming up in June. I think that's when it is. But so far, I was extremely fortunate and blessed that they caught it early enough where it saved my life. So that is how I found out about that. Okay. Final question is, how are you doing with writing your book? Honestly, it is a lot harder than I thought it was. I'm kind of stuck, and I've been stuck for quite a while. I um, I'm not as far as I thought or I had hoped to be. I am trying to finish the book by my 60th birthday, which is next year. So, will that happen? At this point, I'm going to say no, I don't think so. Um, it is a lot of other things involved. Time, obviously, YouTube, it takes up a lot of time. I have my family, I work, part time, but it's still a big chunk of my day. So it's been hard to find time to really dedicate it to it. I thought I would be able to really fit it in, and I thought wrong. But it is progressing, but slowly. But thank you for asking. And as soon as I get to like a place where I feel really confident or good about how far I am into writing it, I will share more. And maybe even share little pieces of the story. This is something that my mom and I had talked about. If you are new here, you may not know. My mom passed away in 2013. She always wanted me to write a book, um, And this was a story that we both kind of played around with, so I'm working on that. So that is all your questions. I'm going to wait for these muffins to come out so I can show you how they look, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, I don't know. These muffins look ugly to me. I don't know. They are the ugliest muffins I've ever seen. I mean, not that they're bad, but they just look so odd to me. I'm going to look at the recipe, make sure I was following it correctly. Oh boy. Okay, my friends. I'm just looking at this recipe to make sure I didn't skip anything, and I didn't. So I don't know. To me, they just don't look really like pretty muffins. um, yeah. Okay. Well, I will take them out and show them to you when they cool off. But that is it for today's bacon chat. Thank you so much for sending in all your questions. I think I got them. I'm going to do one more double check on my community tab. But thank you so much for submitting them and for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to ask me questions and just getting to know me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.